Hey guys! So today we're going to be talking about Samson, and I'm sure all of you know about Samson, how strong he was, but we're going to start at the beginning. Samson begins because the Israelites were getting in trouble with God over and over again. They couldn't stay out of trouble even after they were saved from the Egyptians, from crossing the Red Sea, and God sending manna down from heaven. They still complained. So when they started misbehaving again, God knew that something else had to be done. Now, Samson's mom actually couldn't have a baby. So one day, an angel of the Lord came to her and said, you know what? You can't have any children right now, but God is going to give you a son. So make sure that you don't drink any wine, you don't eat any animal that's unclean. You're going to have a special son. He won't be able to cut his hair. He can't eat grapes or raisins. He can't drink wine. He can't touch anything that has died. He's going to save the Israelites from the Philistines. So as Samson was growing up, he realized how special he was. He realized how strong he was. He actually was able to kill a lion with his bare hands and defend himself against thousands of Philistines. So the Philistines really didn't like him, and they could not figure out how to get rid of him. They couldn't figure out how strong he was. They wanted to know. There was one girl that Samson really liked, and her name was Delilah. They noticed that Samson was coming to see her a lot, so they decided to go to Delilah and make a deal with her. And they said, Delilah, if you can figure out how Samson is so strong, we will pay you a lot of money. So she's like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So she's like, how am I gonna do this? She said, I could make his favorite meal for him, and I'll just ask him. He did love me, so maybe it will be easier than I thought. So she made a nice meal, and she waited for Samson to come. When they sat down, Delilah said, Samson, can you please tell me why you're so strong? He said, well, if anyone can tie me up with 7 brand new bowstrings, which are from a bow and an arrow back then, and they haven't been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man. So later that night after supper, Delilah made an excuse to go for a walk and met up with the Philistines and told them what Samson had said. And the Philistines said, when he's asleep, let us into your house. We're going to capture him. No problem. So after Samson had fallen asleep, she tied him up with the 7 strings and then said, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are here, when they had arrived to capture him. He snapped those strings so easily because that wasn't where his strength was. So Delilah was pretty upset. She didn't know why he would lie to her. So he said, okay, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. If anyone ties me up with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man. So Delilah did the same thing as she had done before. She tied him up with new ropes, said, Samson, the Philistines are here. Without any difficulty, he snapped the ropes. How can you tell me that you love me when you don't even trust me with your thoughts and secrets? Delilah asked him. Samson just tried to ignore her. Finally, he ended up telling her because she would not stop bothering him. He says, fine, just leave me alone. My hair has never been cut. My hair is what gives me the strength. So I had to take certain vows when I was born. I've been given this gift by God. If my head was ever shaved, then I would be just like any other man. So after Samson fell asleep, Delilah got someone to shave his head. As they were shaving it off Samson's head, he got weaker and weaker and weaker. When they were all done, Delilah called out, "Samson, the Philistines are coming!" When he woke up, he was aware of what happened, and the Philistines got him. There was nothing that Samson could do at that point because all of his strength was in his hair, but now his hair was gone because he told Delilah the truth. Once the Philistines had captured Samson, his hair had begun to grow again. God still had plans for him. In the end, Samson regained his strength before they could kill him. They tied him up to 2 large pillars that held a large temple up, and he was able to break them apart. But when he did, the temple fell on him and a lot of Philistines. This is how God used Samson to free the Israelites from the Philistines. Samson ended up breaking all his vows, and he didn't seem to take the rules that God had made for him seriously. And God still used Samson to defeat the Philistines. So even if God is calling us to do something, and it takes us a long way to get there, we mess up, we disobey our parents, we don't listen to our grandparents or our aunts and uncles or whoever is in charge of us, God is still forming you and using you to better his kingdom. So just remember that even if you feel like you're messing up and you're not doing the things that you feel like the Lord wants you to do, keep pressing towards him and knowing that he has a plan for you and he has a reason for everything that happens, and you can always trust him. And just like Samson, he lied to Delilah and he broke some of his vows to God. God still ended up using him. So just remember that, guys. Have a good day.